it scans the scans like website that they source the contact information from, the bank detail, the routing number. It does a lot of bank lookups, does a like a call, like a recorded call, analyzes transcripts type stuff. Yeah, but they still have to like there's still like a know your customer for anyone trying to access it. So at least in general, like standard banking, it's reversible and very easy. So it's kind of just like everything, it's just a very, very thin trust layer that separates like massive crime from like any social type institution. Yeah. Like who could ever guess 9 digits in a sequence? It's impossible. No one can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really like I haven't even pulled the latest code. Um, I would love to see maybe like we're gonna take 5 minutes, you just catch me up kind of where we are right now, maybe.
Hmm.
Um, because I know you had the 3 days of streaming and stuff. And then yeah, what you said after that, as far as maybe I'd love to hear what your current ideas are about where you actually want this to go, and some product ideas. Maybe we can chat about that.
That sounds good to me. All right, and then that would also be a better basis before we got into Michael's stuff as well. Um, Now, how do I show this stuff? If I go to, oops, I've got too much stuff going on. Share my screen. I don't know how to talk about code in the way that we used to talk about it since I haven't seen it either. That's not completely true, but you know what I'm talking about. Um,
Well, and I don't really necessarily, I mean, I can have like AI go through the code for me, really. I guess I meant more from just like a product, like what exists perspective,
sure. I guess I was going to use this as like a little bit of a crutch to show you some things.
which is also totally fine. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, so the the super base idea, agent follows you anywhere. It has the notion, it can be any base runtime that you want, Claude Code or Pi or whatever. Once it's in this harness, it's accessible as a Mac application, as a phone application. Clients are easy to make. You could stick it into Slack too if you wanted to. So sky's the limit there if we want it to be. But the cool thing is that it has this notion of an environment that you go into, which could be location, application, website, event, could be a number of things. Those are like the main things I could possibly think of right now, but like maybe people, like who am I around might sort of be a weird type of environment, but it just knows its environment. And by knowing its environment, that can mean a few things. It can know that when it arrives in an environment, here is what capabilities it has in the environment. It's like, here's what I usually do. And that can be in terms of like a skill, like an agent skill that helps you address the environment. It can be in terms of MCP servers. So like a lot of times if you went to a website environment, it would be cool to have both of those together. A skill that says, hey, now you're on target.com. And by the way, if you use these MCP server endpoints, will like make the interaction of the page really cool. It can be, I thought about it a couple of days ago. Maybe it can even be an application. Now, we don't want to like stick an application, like the bytes to an application inside this index of skills and stuff. But it could say, if you wanted to be in, to use this bundle of capability, it involves downloading this application, and here's a little message to teach your agent or you how to download the thing. I'm still playing with that idea. It's a little bit soggy, but there's something there that I do think I want to roll around a little bit later. Environment identifier is formulaic. It is the type of identifier, which could be app, loc for location, and web so far, colon, and then like a path that makes sense for whatever it is. So if you're inside of a Macintosh, then application colon, and then we use the bundle ID. md.obsidian would be that. If you're in a website, the URL for the website, up into the parameters. If you're in a location, then that does get a little bit trickier because there are locations that are well known, and then you can just say the location or the environment is the name of the website that runs the place / the store identifier or something like that. Or I've seen, or Michael is encoding the address in there. Maybe that makes sense. But there's still probably some issues where the universe is, we're going to say universe, here's an identifier, and it's going to say, nah, it's a little bit shaped different. So I think there's still some pain points there. Identifiers can be hierarchical. So for example, whenever I go to the Obsidian environment, app::md.obsidian, then it gains the skills to understand how to manipulate Obsidian, search through stuff, use Obsidian CLI. The Obsidian CLI itself is kind of an example of an app that it needs to use there. But if I go to a particular vault, the vault full of my reading documents, then it picks up extra skills about how to like format the documents that I want to read, and maybe I've got like a to-do list or a to-do plugin even in there that it knows how to interact with. So they're hierarchical. When you enter into an environment, the agent is aware of the goings-on of the environment. So it's not just that it has an MCP server and it can like read whenever it thinks they need to take place. The environment itself, and this is definitely not worked out, but the environment itself should be able to say, hey, here's a change that just happened. You need to respond to that, to the agent. So the environment can make the agent, trigger the agent into proactive behavior. Also, like if I'm using an application, Cursor does great at this. If I'm using Cursor and I'm talking to the agent, it knows what I've highlighted on the page. And so you don't have to be like, look at this line, blah, 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 because it knows exactly what line you're on. So that kind of stuff, but imagine how that environmental awareness would apply to real life locations and stuff as well. And then I think 2 more things and then I'll shut up. Maybe just kind of one more thing. how else does I think about it? So looking back on my screen again, assets is like pretty pictures for like branding and stuff. Oh wow, that's
Ooh,
like it. That's kind of cute, right?
I do like it.
That is like the fourth result for Rook when you look it up on Google, and I've took that and showed it to ChatGPT and said make this into a cool SVG, and I like it. Clients is just basically iPhone and Mac, and then the shared folder. Documents, I've just started sticking stuff in here. I don't know what I really want to do with it yet. Product changes, maybe I shouldn't even use this. Maybe I should just use my ignored directory that I have locally. It's just the stuff I'm working on. It's like where I'm sticking the agent's to-do list, because I'm not sophisticated. I'm just like create a to-do list and stick it in a directory here. You guys can teach me how to be better. Product is, I want it to be kind of canonical. It's not like for stuff that's being worked on. It's for like stuff that we agree on is like the way things should be. So that in my agents, whenever I write a PR, it checks for changes in those, and as a final commit before a PR, it'll rewrite these things so that the changes to the documentation, to the notion of the product itself, are in the PR as well. That's very experimental. I don't know what real people do. I just work by myself, so if you guys have better ideas, let me know. The final thing is the environment repository. And all the environment repository is a lookup between the this identifier for the environment and a bundle of behavior that is offered whenever the agent enters a particular environment. So skills, markdown, skills, MCP servers, apps. There's probably going to be other stuff we figure out might be useful, but it's that kind of stuff. And there is a notion in code of capital letters environment repository. It's a class that basically sets on top of this so that you don't have to know it's actually files on disk. And there are two environmental repositories right now. So like basically these two things are bound together by another environmental repository class, which is a composition class of these two other classes. But I've got my environmental repository that's stored in like home directory /rook, and there's this one, which eventually will probably be in a GitHub repo or a different service or somewhere else. It's like the canonical thing. This is full of things that supposedly are safe, and the stuff that's in my home directory is just garbage that I'm teaching the agent. I should say, Rook, we're at home right now. Remember how to do this thing. Would you like me to create a new skill? Yes, put that, and it'll put that in my own directory. What am I missing, Michael?
That's a good chunk of it.
Am I missing any important location stuff?
I guess one question I kind of had in general was just like when you spawn a like when you have one instance on one like the server is persistent across however many like clients are running off of it. So if you have it running on your Mac and you're running on your phone, it's the same server, obviously, but it has context of both. Not context of both environments. That's, I don't know, an interesting kind of superpower.
Oh, or split brain, multiple personality issue. It's a usability issue. Yeah, That's something I've wanted to talk with like everyone about is like right now I'm trying to use the agent on my Mac for everything, and I'm noticing some usability issues that I think can be resolved. I'm not using it on my iPhone, and I want to get to where I'm doing that more, but that causes the thing that you're talking about where it's like, where am I really? I don't know. Here's what
I
I
think
go for it.
I think it's actually like a feature more so. Um, because as long as we we might have to like label like where skills can be run, or like if you call a skill that's it like if I call a skill that's specific to like the iPhone I'm running it on, it has to like execute on the iPhone because it can't execute it anywhere else. Like there's like a dependency on skills,
Mm-hmm.
somewhat, but a lot of skills are shared across all environments, like read file or edit file or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then that's when it gets confusing in my kind of conception of how this all works.
Well, let's play with the idea a little bit. Before we dig into like a little bit of a brainstorming thing, Nick, are you do you have any questions about like the big idea?
Nope, following. I don't think really anything's changed since about like the main idea in general since
Okay, great.
past.
So
That's good to be refreshed.
good. Then I apologize for going into too much depth. All right, then brainstorm just a little bit then. So I'm going to refute one thing that you said,
Sure.
and then you can refute me if I'm wrong. I think that the server will be like this Macintosh behind my couch that's got a busted screen, and then I'll have it'll be on a VPN with my phone, and my phone will not be the server. And so when I say please run this thing, anything that runs will be run on that server. Now, probably what you're thinking is like, but like I want to open an app on my iPhone or something like that. I want to do an iPhone specific thing. What do you have in mind for the iPhone specific thing that you want to do? Because I think I can do that too, even with what I just said. But help me
Right.
understand.
Like, mm, there can be a lot of things. Like, at least for like location, like let's say there's a skill that is specifically like get specific latitude and longitude, like find my phone or something. I don't know. I guess that is just a skill, whatever. Um, you'd want that to run on the phone itself.
Oh, like find latitude,
Or,
longitude.
like turn on flashlight. But I don't know how, I don't know if those skills are really what we're going for. It really depends.
Well, I hadn't thought about it, but like I think Siri sucks because I say hey Siri, and if it answers me at all, doesn't, it can't do anything for me.
Yeah. Good.
And it would be nice to have this like actually work a little bit better than that. The way I was tackling this problem in early prototypes was basically to have a daemon shoved into whatever environment that actually needed to do the running, and then have and so for example, I had a Chrome extension that the Chrome extension could do Chrome stuff, but my server couldn't easily do Chrome stuff. And so what I had my server do, my server had an MCP that talked to, well, it wasn't an MCP, it was just like something stupid, but it talked to the Chrome application, and then the Chrome extension actually did the thing.
Right. Oh, okay.
So in principle, that idea could be extended to lots of stuff. That does imply some limitations because if if the thing's brain really is on the server, it can run bash shell stuff, but it can't do one at a time MCP messages and run cool things on the iPhone that way. But it might be sufficient for a long time. Is that
Yeah,
play with that idea?
like we are building in Tailscale as a fundamental piece of this, basically. Um, and or
Tail,
at least something similar to it.
yeah, okay,
Um,
yeah, I would agree with that.
so yeah, as long as yeah, so any functionality that we want to execute on an end device or client device or whatever, um, yeah, as long as we expose it, then it's up to the agent of whether to call it based on the context. So yeah, so if an agent on a server tries to call a skill and the skill like if the skill is requires you to make like an API call through a Tailscale URL to your connected iPhone. I guess that could work. That's gonna get messy. I think that's messier than just whatever client you're currently on is the thing that processes or not or like the LLM's actually processing the tool call, but the execution of the tool call has to be done or can be done either on the server or back on the client. It's just the server is interpreting the tool call into an actual executable equivalent function, really. So the server could, if a given skill has to be run on like the iPhone, um, we can add some metadata to the skill, may or may not be passed to the agent, might not need to be. And then once the server or once the LLM actually determines it's a tool call, processes it into like the actual execution like package, uh, then we can modify it to actually be just sent to the phone or executed on the server. I think that makes sense.
I can't tell if you're agreeing with me or disagreeing with me.
I think it makes
Well, okay, let me tell you.
you know, like yeah.
I'll tell you the steps involved in my head, and I think they're almost lining up with some of with what you're saying, but I think I'm missing. There is a messy point in there, and so
Yeah.
let's see if we can identify it. The one of the environments, I'm making this up as I go, is like the home environment or the let's see. One of the environments is of a new type that I just made up right now called uh, operating OS environment, and it's OS colon Mac or OS colon iPhone or OS colon Android. And whenever I flip on my computer and that's what I'm using, then I'm in that environment, and so it imbues me with the power of stuff. That's kind of like a big default. But then the iPhone, if I happen to be using iPhone, it's like I enter into that environment. And what can an iPhone do? Oh, well, you can control all sorts of stuff with an iPhone because it comes with, the iPhone is going to call back and see what can we do with this OS colon iPhone environment, and it's going to return and say, here's a bundle of capabilities. This one bundle is use your phone, and it's got a skill that kind of tells you how to use this MCP server. And then so if so the iPhone on the iPhone you say okay, I accept that, and then I say look up in my contacts on my iPhone for my sister's number, and so that message gets sent back to the server where actually everything's running, and the server's like, oh okay, I know how to use an iPhone, I know that I can call this MCP endpoint, and it it might be a complicated MCP endpoint, I don't know, but it tells me how to look up something in the contacts, and I'll do that. But what it does, and this is where things might get messy, and probably you should correct me and say this is not the way we should do it, John. On the phone, there's something that will receive that MCP endpoint because they're all in the same VPN. I guess your phone can run like a little crappy server, and if it's a virtual private network, then maybe that would even be safe. But once it's on that side, then presumably the little crappy server would know how to take that command and fulfill it. Now that's you see where I get a little bit squirmy. Is that the right place to be squirmy?
Yeah, no, that's right, because the phone, no matter what, has to have some code on it that will allow it to process whatever tool call we're trying to do. So like look up contacts. That's always going to have to be on in the Rook phone app, iPhone app, let's say. So yeah, but there's already a connection between the server and the phone, so we can arbitrarily call it via either WebSockets or whatever. I forget what we're currently using.
It's WebSockets. I'm debating if that was a good idea or a bad idea.
It's fine. I don't, yeah, I don't see why not. But yeah, the bundle of capabilities makes a lot of sense per environment. Like, hmm, yeah, I think the server just has to determine, like, the server knows that, oh, like whenever we make a tool call, um, or really whenever we send a message, period, we should annotate it probably by like, we should track like what device it's being sent from, maybe, or OS environment or environment period,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can respond in that same environment. Because you'll likely want it to, I think it's an exception, or like it's a, I think it's more likely that if you send a message on your phone, you'll want to receive the answer on your phone, I think. Same with your laptop, same with the server itself, I guess.
Oh yeah. I think that's for sure. That's a different topic though, right? Like
Yeah.
the execution of the request versus the response to the assistant response to the request.
I think it's the same. I think it's the
Um,
same.
so if I was to send a message from my phone to my agent whose brain is underneath my couch, then the work happens underneath my couch, no matter what, except for the last little MCP call in our current thinking out to the phone to do whatever. But that goes back to the tool response goes back to that server, and the agent formulates his thinking, the tool calls everything, and the answer comes, the messages from the agent come to my phone. So the output is definitely going to be on my phone. The work is done on the server, except for the work of the tool request. That's iPhone specific.
Right, because we're just writing to the local database on the server, and we're just replicating that, or responding back with the message. Um,
I have a quick terminology question. Is the environment also like is the environment just where the agent is running, like, oh, on iPhone or on Android phone, or is it also like, or on your Mac OS, or is the environment also something you would be interacting with? Like, John, you had your example of Wikipedia or with Kroger when you walk in. Are those all environments the way we're describing them?
An environment is anything that I, the human, am interacting with my assistant. In the future, like we can also just shove the assistant off into an environment, say, hey, get this work done with these set of skills, which are basically this, in this environment. But an environment is the place, the physical location, the application, the website, the OS, and it can be multiple of these things simultaneously. It's like I'm physically at this location and I am, I mean, the user experience, we got to figure this one out, but you can say to the agent, I want you to look this up in my Obsidian notes, and I'm in Kroger's right now, something like that. So probably, and so this is challenging, right? Because in a simple world, I'm in one location at any given time, and then I just use that, and I walk into a different place, and then that's it. But since there's so many things, or I could be at a strip mall, and there's like 5 different stores, and the agent doesn't quite know which one it is, and I've also got my Notion app open that I'm thinking about. I think probably every agent will have its own like pane that you can flip over and say, oh, what are the environments that are around me? Here's the ones I'm in. Here's the ones that are nearby in time or space or relevance. And then like you could actually like, it's none of these. I want something else that you're not expecting because it's I'm introducing a new context here or something. Does that make sense? And then how do we make that work?
The explanation makes sense.
Haha.
Is
Implying the UX. Is that the part that doesn't make sense?
Yeah. I mean, you said how do we solve it? I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
definitely used to the like one example that I keep thinking of is like what environment should the agent, like when it's operating on your Mac, like what layer should it be operating at as the environment? So for instance, you might be in a folder, but it might be a Git repo as well. And it might also be a Python environment, like virtual environment. And it might also be inside of a Docker container via like a volume. And that's all contained inside of like some like graphical user interface, maybe a terminal. And
So
there's a bunch of layers to that.
is every place where I might want to work with this thing really the combination, the union of 200 environments?
Kind of.
That's going to be unwieldy.
Like right now, you're in a room, but you're also in a house. You're also in your home. You're also in a state, a county. Um,
I don't know.
I think all of them get. I think it's just a matter of like collapsing them down because they all contribute. So I think all of like if any of those layers have skills, we should inject those skills into the environment. Um, like
Initially, this problem isn't a problem
yeah,
because we're going to be lucky to have any environments at all. I'll create my house as an environment and my workplace as an environment. Those happen to be the same location. So there's the inverse of the problem we're talking about. But I'm not gonna have that many environments. When I go outside, like the stores that actually have environments connected to them are gonna be the big box stores, and that's gonna be convenient. When I'm on my working in applications on my computer, then it's gonna be the stuff where I've set up skills. So it's actually gonna be super useful for me right now, but I want there to be like a lot of people saying like this is a useful environment and creating the skills for it. And so do you end up with this world that eats itself where eventually you have 40,000 environments every time you know change an application or something?
You have to have, in order to be useful, like it has to have enough like granularity. Like for instance, like if you're operating in a project that you control, like having access to like the markdown files that you've written with the documentation, give it a lot of context to make it useful.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with like the business data for like the location specific stuff. It's like without the business data, still technically usable, but it's not as a great of an experience. I'm not sure if there's any way of solving that besides make, I don't know, like, I don't know.
I think it's worth considering because we want to make sure we're not like painting ourselves into a corner with the premise. I don't think that we'll be in a situation where I'm in my house, I'm in my neighborhood, I'm in my city, I'm in my state, I'm in my country, on Earth. I think that naturally, like people just won't make skills for a state, or when they make skills for a state, it's like we can't let that just like commonly pop up. Like if that whole
Like if there's nothing, like if you're just out in the desert of like Nevada, like, and there's nothing else around you, and there's no other context to be found, maybe that's when it's relevant.
yeah, there's like a relevance layer. Like
Mhm.
Nevada might be an important environment if I'm standing next to a cactus in the middle of nothing. It's like Nevada, call emergency. Where am I?
Yeah, just
Couldn't the LLM kind of just figure that out?
yeah.
Like figure out all the skills for each of those locations, or
Just figure out relevancy based off of context.
well, yeah. And that's actually something that Michael brought up last time we talked. Is you can just list them all. You got the conversation. The agent has the conversation in front of it, or at least the first question you ask, and it can look around and say, "Oh, we're probably going to need these 5 environments," and maybe just like it just dumps them in there. Like the first time you see those environments, you'll get the opportunity to look through the bundle and make sure you trust it. We'll also have like some sort of agent that looks through the bundle and make sure it's not got anything obvious eventually. But then after that, yeah, just make the agent say, we need these 5 things. I'm looking at 25 things. We need these 5 things. And it'll get notifications when other environments are available, and it can choose to pick those as well. So that's not a bad idea. And yeah, let's do that, Nick.
What like you mentioned bundles, and I don't fully understand bundles. Are they just collections of skills, I guess?
Here was my thought process. Sometimes you'll have skills that are associated with an MCP server, and I don't know, maybe people don't ever do that, but I can see utility in that. And so if you are proving things one bit at a time, then do you get, and you got only the skill but not the MCP server, then you can't really do anything with it. So they naturally bundle together. Obsidian, the skills for how Obsidian works only make sense with the application Obsidian CLI, which you have to install. And so those two things are kind of bundled together. And the way I'm bundling them right now is I can share the screen for this. This feels a little bit heavy, but so like make it less heavy. Let's see if it's got this. Yeah, I think this is it. Okay, example.com. Every layer of this file system, of this directory, has potentially more stuff in it, but it also has a dot file called bundles, and maybe a dot file or a dot directory called bundles, and maybe a dot file for metadata. So underneath example.com, it is an environment, and so in its bundles, it has this thing which has apps and skills, and there's the skill in it, and it could have multiple skills if you really wanted it to. And it has that's for testing, so ignore that one. Here is another bundle that has just a skill in it. Most environments probably offer one bundle of things, but this gives you the opportunity once you enter the environment, you can say, I think this bundle is going to work, but I don't like this bundle because I'm not going to install that app anyways.
Okay, so an environment has a collection of bundles, not necessarily just a straight list of skills.
Yeah, I think it has to.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
But like, if it doesn't make sense, then tell me.
Makes sense because that means, what's a good example of what would a bundle be named or something? Trying to think of an example.
Obsidian usage.
Yeah, okay, right. Right, so like anything that the CLI could do effectively, or, well, this skill itself would manage that, but yeah. Yeah, so you can basically scope like, oh, if the Obsidian CLI isn't installed, you're still in that environment. You're still in the Obsidian environment. You just won't have access, or we won't even include any of the skills or we won't include that Obsidian CLI bundle if it's not installed. That makes a lot of sense. So you still have to care about how many skills we include. Makes sense. Right.
So what you thinking, Nick? Penny for your thoughts.
I'm not 100% sure why we're going all the way down this path.
I might just be talking for no reason. Feel free to
Well, I guess I'm not 100% following exactly what we're trying to solve right now or why it's important.
With the entire application as a whole?
No. The like environment injection, I guess, or like deciding what, or the bundles.
So it's an implementation detail for sure. It's not a, but it gets surfaced as a product issue that might have some important implications. The easy ideal world is I walk around with my app and it just like automatically gains skills. But practically speaking, you don't want the world shoving like executable code onto your phone. And so whenever I go into in a new environment, it needs to have, there needs to be some way of allowing me to know which environments I'm in and what the implications of that are in a way that's digestible. Like you can't, like at an extreme, awful extreme, every time you go anywhere, you're constantly being barraged by like, here's 20 new skills, you should read them all
Right.
to figure. So I think one way we limit, oh, and another thing is like, there's complications when you really get down to it of like, if you install this skill but not the MCP server it was talking about, then it's broken, it's useless. So these things kind of bundle together. If you learn everything about Obsidian CLI but you don't have the application, it's not going to be very useful for you. So things do bundle together, and that has, you know, product implications of whether or not it's going to work. So whenever I go to a place, I want to just be able to use the thing and not be
Right.
annoyed by all this stuff. I think the way we make it tolerable is that when you're going around in life, you don't go to new places absolutely all the time. And so the first time you go in a new place and it's like, here's the agent says, here's an environment that you're in, here's a skill we need. That's when you need to have like a little bit of oversight. But then no more. Like you could say, I accept this forever. Another point to make this a little bit easier is if we can really build a brand of trust around like the canonical environmental repo, then we could say everything that's gone through here has gone through our bomb-proof like prompt injection security package, and we believe these to be safe. And then like people would just ignore, you know, automatically approve all those if they wanted to. And then there's your skills that, you know, look, I am at home right now. This is, I want you to turn television on at 7 o'clock every night or something. And that's, since you make a skill, then it doesn't have to acknowledge that or verify that. So I think it's the way, all this stuff can be really obnoxious if we do it wrong, and can be safe and unobnoxious if we do it right.
That makes sense.
You want to show your PR, Michael?
Oh, yes. It's mostly just a bunch. Can I just share this window?
Oh, can you share? Gosh.
Oh.
Host tools. I'm gonna allow it. There you go.
I'm just gonna pull up where is it? Yeah, I don't know. So, I don't know. This is the basic repo, but effectively, it's just a way of going from latitude and longitude to it's just geolookup at the end of the day, but I'm using some pre-compiled files sourced from Foursquare and OpenStreetMaps primarily to just make a file format that we just can. Currently, I'm hosting it on S3 personally, and actually Cloudflare, and you can effectively just do a HTTP range request onto it with latitude and longitude without downloading the entire file, and it just returns what building. you're in. And there's a couple of different versions of them, and one of them contains a map of all of the businesses in the US. And so it's just the same type of lookup to get all the business information.
Did you
So
make a geodatabase on a file that you can just host somewhere? Is that what it is?
yeah, that's it.
Oh,
It's
that's
just that,
cool.
but it's
So
just small. But
are you doing, ah, gosh, I've forgotten are you doing a geohash and that will put you into the right 1 out of 16 tiles and then geohash on that and you just keep subdividing your read offsets?
yeah, there's it's using H3 like hexagons. It's what like Uber uses for like their mapping solution,
Oh,
where
interesting. Okay.
globes subdivide into a bunch of hexagons, and so you can just like zoom in um
Okay.
progressively. And it's really nice, but it makes it simple. Compared like it's it's still not simple, but it's free and it's the same as OpenStreetMaps, but it's faster. So I don't know. We can trivially replace it with Google Maps if you want to. That will be more accurate and in general
Is
more up to date.
like
But
your solution, if it's accurate at all, which I trust it to be, it's accurate to like like 20 feet,
pretty much.
whereas like the real data is accurate to the foot or something, right?
Um, it's it's mostly the business information that would be out of date and less so
Oh,
the buildings.
okay. I mean, well, that
Uh,
is important at some point, but like you can also just push the button and recrunch OpenStreetMaps into your format whenever you want it, right?
Sure. And I looked at your comment, and you mentioned so originally I had it like pass through like the client was doing the range request to access this file through this proxy endpoint. Great approach. I've since fixed it. I've made some changes. Um,
So you deleted the proxy now?
yeah, now it's what was it? It's now whatever this. We don't have to get into code really, but it's now two separate endpoints. This is not the right one. Yeah, now it's just two separate endpoints. One to get like the server manages the range requests and everything. So it's just simpler. And yeah, this one's split as well. So let me take a step back. So what that basically means is that I need to this UI is work in progress. I was thinking like brand icons or something. I don't know. Um, I was the placeholder was favicons, which is not great because most of the businesses don't have like websites associated with them, which is bad.
Yeah.
But spaces at the time. Uh, and yeah, and it knew that, which is great. But it's also a big building, so whatever. But I also didn't know that there were other random like home repair contracting things registered in that same building. So
Oh,
I like
here's a problem that we could run into is like when you're inside a 5-story mall in New York City.
yeah. Yeah, that's if it doesn't detect like this is a problem even for like strip malls and for I think I called it out in um one of the files of like limitations. But yeah, like definitely like strip malls, it's like a couple of meters and there's a different business.
But
And
to the solution that you guys have now both independently said, we could just list what we got to the agent, and the agent would be like, okay, well, yeah, we're talking
yeah,
about whatever 2x4s right now,
yeah,
shoes. That'd be better for them all.
right. I think there's an open question that I had, which is should we expose the business details as a skill. So the agent can decide to call it or to push it directly into the context so it actually knows.
Oh, that's a good question.
Like,
Here's what I was thinking about that is whenever the agent decides it really is going to be an environment, not only does it imbue itself with the capabilities in that environment, but it also becomes aware of the state in that environment. And like the most obvious initial state is like, here's where you are and here's what you do here. So like you could put some sort of front matter in the environmental repository that's associated with like, welcome message or something. You could do anything you wanted to with that.
okay, yeah, wait, so wait, this is a rabbit hole, but yeah, like this, like maybe like I was thinking in terms of like we looked up your location based on what building you seem to be in. There's only one business registered. That for sure is like you are probably next to this building or next to this business specifically. And because we know that for sure, we can just inject that into context. But if there's more variation, like within 20 meters, there's like 20 different businesses somehow. It's like a street market or something. Um, like, should we inject all of those into, or like the names of those into the context as state? Or is it like,
Probably like we do
uh,
with skills where we have progressive disclosure. We can say like the conversation's been about shopping for shoes, and here's like all of the nearby stores in the mall. And if it's a
mhm.
list of 200, that's a lot, but these days it's maybe not terrible. 200 along with just like a phrase about what the store is, and then the agent can be like, I need all the shoe stores.
Mhm.
And then once you really get in that environment, then you could the environment itself could have like an agents.md for the environment.
Okay, yeah. So, okay, yeah. I think that would solve it. Yeah, I don't think we currently have a good way of like injecting that state. But
We don't,
uh,
not yet.
into like all agent types. I know there's a base agent, I think. That might be the way to do it. But yeah, so I don't know, kind of big PR, but yeah, that's the bulk of it. It's just trying to get some semblance of location awareness and have not tackled the bigger problem of um like identifying what skills should go on each of those buildings. But
Yeah, that's a giant problem.
I I scanned through all the businesses and quite a few of them actually do have unique looking web addresses associated to them. Um, and I think, well, I like if you group by like normalized brand names and you like, for instance, like Dunkin' Donuts or something, and you look at all the web addresses that are registered to every like OpenStreetMaps location for Dunkin', like the web addresses, some of them are short, but you can kind of just detect which businesses have um, unique looking web addresses. And for some of those, they are actually mapping to like store numbers. I removed the best guess store number thing. Even though some businesses have it, it is a shot in the dark, basically. It's like 0.1% or something. actually have enough data to infer it, because sometimes it's like the zip code as well. So yeah, it's not perfect, but quite a few do have, like quite a few brands, I should say, uh, do have some means of like looking up stores somehow. So that's definitely reversible in order to get some like base skills for like, oh, this is a Target. At a Target, you can get like availability information or whatever.
Okay.
So I think that's probably the best approach, but I haven't.
How do I find out more about how you made the transition from, so you got lat long to OpenStreetMaps, right? OSM, OpenStreetMaps data, and from there to the location ID. Like, how do I figure out in code what the algorithm is for that?
Yeah, yeah. Where did I put that? It's one. Oh wait, these are newest. Sorry, earliest. Um, should just be in this one. So this is location providing. So I am um leveraging like the iPhone's, where is it? CL. Is it here? Like, thankfully the iPhone actually has a pretty good like way of detecting when someone's like visited. Get location identification on arrival. On arrival, identify environments. Yeah, you're right. So this is that generic endpoint that I've since split up. But length and longitude, identify available things, the requests. So
Like, you don't necessarily have to trace the code here, because like it's something that probably I should ask my agent to trace
I
for
work
me.
the agent, honestly.
Yeah,
But
but I just want to know the rough strategy to do it, because I didn't, like, maybe you already sort of said it and I just didn't pick it up as a algorithm. Like, we have, I don't know what OSM data looks like, and then but from whatever it looks like, we go from there to a Rook environment identifier, and I don't understand the process for that.
yeah, so the actual location identifier is effectively location colon. If there's a website, the website. Uh, if it's a business name, it's just the business name. If we don't know the website, slash, it's actually the um like street name effectively. It is state dash zip code dash like street name, kind of like with dashes like appended together. And then if possible, the store ID. That is completely optional and likely never going to actually be available in any respect. Um, unless
That's
I go, yeah,
that still works out okay, because like if it's not the real store, then is it gonna have skills hanging off of it? Well, okay, I guess it could. It could be just the wrong store, but that store has skills hanging off of it. You'd be walking around the wrong Kroger's.
yeah,
But I'm not worried about it yet. It's
like the slug basically, I wanted to make it so that you could conceivably write it as a human and still have it be reinterpreted correctly back into the business. Um, so it usually there's not a store that's like sometimes it's like a 7-Eleven like every single block, but most of the time there's not. And especially since its zip code gets smaller, the more dense and more urban an area is. In general, even like state and zip code should be enough to identify most buildings and businesses, especially if it has like the store name. So you can go from latitude longitude to this slug and this slug back into the specific latitude longitude if you have like a useful file format that lets you look at this up for free.
Okay.
So that was my rationale for it because ideally it should just be something that you can convert to and fro.
Yeah, yeah, I like that.
Um,
Well, is there any reason you shouldn't land it?
what?
Is there any reason you shouldn't land it?
Merge it?
Um, I mean, I've looked through it. If something's horrible and I don't know about it, then I suspect we can undo it. I think
Yeah.
it seems a lot better than what we got right now, which is
I'm gonna
exactly
try it
nothing.
out. I just got like an iPhone set up to actually do the whole like tail scale shuffle uh to get
Oh, cool. Is it?
um
You get that working?
yeah.
All right. Oh, then try this. Okay, try this for us real quick. I didn't know that this is possible, but oh, you knew that this was possible. I'm sure you knew this. On your Mac, go to iPhone, whatever, iPhone mirroring.
Oh, yeah, how do you activate that?
I do command. Oh, you don't even have to do all that stuff. Just do command space to get the little, yeah, iPhone mirroring. There you go. And it'll say you need to lock your phone, and you say okay.
Connect? Sign in? Do I have to sign into iCloud?
I don't know. I did this 3 days ago, so I've forgotten everything about it.
I forgot my iCloud password because this is a fake account. I'll have to look up my password. I'm gonna stop screen sharing. Uh, yeah, let me try this. Uh, uh, try to remember my password because apparently you do have to log in.
Yeah.
Uh, cool. Okay. Sign in. How do you even sign into this? Okay. I have a love and hate relationship with Apple accounts.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Let me try my developer account.
If I was a little bit braver, I would short Apple stock right now. They have not
Oh,
done anything interesting in 5 years, in a
I,
time where the most interesting things are happening.
they just need to keep putting more RAM in their computers. That's all that matters.
Why can Siri never understand me? Why can't she do anything anyways? Why can't I type anything in the phone and it's like the autocomplete? It's like Murphy. No, I never meant Murphy. Who's Murphy? Yeah, it just hadn't got anything right for a long time.
Okay.
They do have an AI offering where basically you can make emojis of yourself, and that's like as sophisticated as it got. It's like cool.
I use the generate emoji stuff sometimes.
Mhm.
It can be pretty fun. But yeah, that's it's kind of rough that that's where they're at. It's actually shocking how terrible Siri is still.
Yeah, We live in a world with all the goodies. I can't imagine. Steve Jobs is watching from wherever he is and screaming.
I mean, it's worked out all right for them, I guess, but
Yeah, I think
Unable,
the stock's still doing well.
yeah, unable to connect iPhone. I don't know why. It's literally connected to the computer with a cable. Maybe I shouldn't have connected to it.
That's weird. Like, okay, maybe I'll try it. You mean try it?
Sure.
iPhone mirroring. I'll share my screen.
I usually use Android, and I just use screen copy.
Oh, that's right. That you're an Android guy. Is Android good these days? I had one Android and I bought it
No.
because I could make anything I wanted, and then I hated it because everyone had already made anything they wanted and nothing worked together well.
Yeah. I just like being able to like copy files off of my phone, like without having to go to another piece of software.
Yeah. You can do that from iPhone to Mac, but you also use Windows, I guess, then.
Mostly in Linux.
Linux.
Yeah.
Okay, right. All right. Is there any way to tell if this is like up to date? I'm pretty sure it is, but if we had some other. So how would I trigger this to do a location lookup?
So it is okay. So there's a specific way to like inject it with
Give
a
me a,
specific. Yeah, 1 second. I mean,
give me the
I need to
register environment curl.
I need to document this as a useful thing, but let me send this to you.
Maybe before you merge this, stick a utility in the root repo, the root skills directory. I've got a utility in there that circumvents the client altogether for just talking to the agent when I was testing out the agent client protocol stuff. And if we had something where you could just inject locations and stuff, seems like we have a suite of tools in there.
Interesting.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So this reopens Rook, but with a specific latitude and longitude. Um, yeah. That's, but I think it's actually, oh wait, if it's on your iPhone, your actual iPhone, then it's actually already trying to detect because it's based on like the iPhone has like a CL visit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to dox yourself, I guess you could do that. Or you can run the simulator with this command. Um,
Oh, I'm going to dox myself. Check this out. I have a little button on my screen, and I click it, and it goes to
Huh. Oh, it's because I swapped the proxy, I think.
Oh, sorry. Let me go ahead and get pull real quick. That's silly. Get pull. And
Oh, okay. I have a good example. Quick, 1 second.
scripts
Uh,
run search. We'll
I
restart the
ha-
server and the iPhone phone.
yeah, updated curl command in the chat.
Okay, and I'm updating my code and reinstalling my phone app.
Yeah, as long as the server is on, this will work because it's just using the server at this point.
Oh, but if you say, okay, so identify is going, we split it into two pieces, identify, and it comes back with a result.
List of available um,
Womp.
why is your server? What?
Let's see, let's make sure I did everything right. So this is me restarting the server,
Just try this. Why?
stopping the server, starting the server. Server is healthy. And then localhost.
Odd.
Oops.
Do I
No.
have to say it? I haven't.
That got weird. What went wrong here?
Oh, you're piping it into JQ partially.
What? Oh, the copy paste got mangled somehow. Okay, so clear.
Okay, I had some local changes that I hadn't pushed.
Okay, I'll pull those real quick. Get
Right.
pull. You're right. Is it pull? Okay. So server.
Oh, that's handy. I should start using that script.
Yeah, you can restart server, Mac, phone. That's the three things. And you just list whichever ones you want to restart. And it rebuilds too, which is pretty quick. And I have a notion that when we do this, it'll actually look like something on the phone too. Oh, no, because, okay, it's just doing, that first server request is just to get the location. I'll keep this on my phone just in case though. Gosh, I can't use this thing. All right.
I do more like actual in-person walk with my phone into location testing. Why? I just, like, why is that different? That's always fun. I can,
You have 4 minutes, sir.
sorry. Okay. Well,
Don't feel rushed. You've only got 4 minutes.
where is there? Okay, well, it's supposed to look like this. Like, with a curl, and then it spits out like, actually useful data. Wow.
Well, or are you sharing a screen or something that I should be
Yeah.
looking at?
Yep.
I see it.
Yeah. Hey, look, this.
Oh, there's multiple tabs. I've never seen that before.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Dangerously skip work permissions.
Oh, sorry. I was saying multiple tabs in Zoom. I realized John was also sharing his screens, probably. Anyways.
All right, cool. So re-show me again because I was looking at my own screen like an idiot.
Oh, yeah. Same curl command.
Okay, I see. No.
It's just a list of the candidate buildings. So like the reason it was matched was you're inside the building, and it's how far you are and confidence and actual latitude and longitude. And this is some like chiropractor. Um, this is a DC latitude and longitude. That's why it's DC. But Yeah, and it's just a bunch of people, like random LinkedIn addresses sometimes.
Whoa, that's weird.
We'll just do this. It's weird. I don't know.
Huh, okay, well, we'll
It's
have to
open
figure
source.
out something about that, but we'll figure it out.
I mean, it's public data. Like, yeah, I know, whatever. But yeah, like Freshie or whatever.
Can you drop a pin on a map right in some area that we're all familiar with? I mean, Nick's Nashvilleian. Where would be good?
Uh,
Belmont, right?
There we go.
Apps.
You're not sharing
A
whatever
music
screen you're
row.
clicking around. Yeah, Music Row, that'd be good.
Music.
Remember that we can't see your screen if you want us to.
Yeah. It's going to. There's a. I don't know. Do you know where I Love Sushi is? I know.
It's by Vandy, yeah.
Whoops. Oh, and it's next to Jimmy John's.
Cool.
So that.
Oh, cool. And so if you look, is that actually a valid website there? Okay, let's see. Okay, so how did you,
There we go. Magic.
is that one of the specific stores?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
That's cool. So
so
if we went to the website for Jimmy John's, it's like that actual URL.
yeah. I'm doing some like analysis to see how many brands actually have like this would be considered a unique
Yeah, go to that
web.
website. I'm just curious what it says. Or give it
Oh
to
yeah, I
me
need
if
to. Oh yeah. I was sharing only once window. That's why. But I linked it.
I'm gonna order.
that is so cool. So we have this specific places.
Yep.
Okay, so this is the easy button for a lot of functionality. As soon as you enter a place, an environment, you have its hours of operation, it's everything about its homepage, so like the agent can just use its search capabilities and do anything it wants to. Okay,
Yeah.
solved.
Yeah. And it current estimate is like 6% of all buildings can be remapped to brands, but I need to check that more.
6% of all buildings? But like residential wouldn't do that. So what do you mean by all buildings?
Business buildings.
All business buildings. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's cool. That's really hopeful. Jimmy John's has filled me with hope. All right. All right. Well, I'm going to head out and close up our live stream. Check this out. You
Bye.
guys can't see us, but I'm going to go
Bye,
to
chat.
I'm going to go to the monologue window and like they can see me. Crap. I've got the microphone turned off for you guys, so that's no good. This OBS stuff is really fun. Cool. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, go ahead and merge that, Michael. Like it's not working on my side. We'll figure it out. But
Yeah.
I think it's infinitely better than the nothing. It's literally infinitely better than the nothing that existed before it. So awesome. Cool. All right. Well, see you gents later.
So yeah,
Nice to meet you, Michael.
the same you, Nick.
Later.